Hey, Tony Gaston here. One thing I'm thinking about today, and I can't talk too loud, when I'm in a hotel. So I'm in Maryland. I think I'm in Maryland for the premiere tonight. Tonight we have the premiere of the webisode, the project that I executive produce, and we have an amazing writer, director, producer. She did everything. And even my wife, she told me, hey, do a premiere for it because I never make a big deal about stuff. And trying to get better at that, not making a big deal about stuff, but just kind of, celebrating wins. And I knew too it would mean something for the young actors that's a part of the project, and then the composer, the team, the two guys who did the score for the project. The one that I know, this is his first film score. So him and his lady and the other gentleman, his lady, they flew up from Florida. I don't know if the other gentleman lives in Florida, but they flew up and we're gonna do the premiere, watch the film, and then the cast and crew will be interviewed. And so that kind of, I know it's gonna mean a lot to them. And I wanna continue to take it up. Somebody asked me, am I gonna start a Patreon? And now that I thought about it, I'm like, I might have to start a Patreon for the people who want to support these type of projects. And it's not anything, righteous and holy and preachy or anything. It's just depicting real life so we can see ourselves, male and female, so we can see ourselves in these situations. And it will, on YouTube, it'll air tomorrow, the first episode or two. I haven't decided yet, but it'll be tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. I got to talk to the director on what she thinks, if I should do it days in a row or just, one a week, one showing per week. And after tomorrow, the next time, it may be on Sunday, and then try to just do Sundays. But we'll be working on the next project, and it's just another way, just more entertainment for my YouTube channel, because I have to see the YouTube channel like my network, unless the Lord called me to have a actual real network on TV like what Oprah got, then this YouTube channel is my network. And so I got to produce content for that. Now I'm up here today, and I flew in this morning. Thank God, no delays, got in. I'm in my hotel. They had a room ready, which is early. Check-in really not till 3 or 4. So that's a blessing. And then tonight, got this here premiere, and then I'm flying out first thing in the morning. So I'm just in and out. And it made me think about this, this season I'm in, because my goal, what I would like to do is shoot a video every day. That would be my goal. That's what I would like to do. But you'll be surprised that it's some days that the day is back to back to back to back. From the time you wake up, gotta be gone, in an hour. And that's if you slept ample time because of the time you went to bed. And then from the time you leave, I'm driving, then I'm at a game, and then I'm driving back home, and then I got a coach, or I got something like after that, and then by the time things slow down, I'm drained, I'm tired, and I don't have what it takes to get on the video, and I would be forcing it. So come 2022, I'm gonna be trying my best to do a video a day, just to see what YouTube can grow to, what it can be. And then also just to be there for the people who are in that state of growth. And I know what that's like, that state of growth where you just want healthy, positive content. Not everything relates to you, not everything is for you, but you just want some content to be background noise. And it's some people that they'll let the videos play all day, and the whole time they're at work, And it's better than listening to ratchet music. It's better to listen than listening to stuff that's gonna alter and change your, your mindset. And so with that being the case, I want to be able to be there for those people. And then to be honest with you, this is kind of my work because, and there's two types of men, and this is what I was thinking about when I was getting ready to shoot this video. There's two types of men, and it's one man who work is the ultimate thing. Working and making money is the ultimate thing. You have to do it. Nothing comes before it. Nothing gets in the way of it. Work is the ultimate thing. And that makes him feel like a man. It makes him feel accomplished. And to him, that's what love is. Love is working and making the money and paying the bills. If I'm paying your bills, to him, that's what that means. He loves you. Don't say nothing to him. Don't ask him for nothing else. Don't expect anything else of him. He works and he pays the bills. And it comes from just your upbringing and how you saw a man and what you were told about manhood. And then on the other side, you have the type of man that work matters, but his presence matters just as much. He values being there. He values not missing the recital, not missing the game, and being there. And so like this premiere got pushed back to December 21st because I could not find a day that my sons didn't have practice or a game. This was the only day. And then guess what? After putting this on the calendar, my wife and I were supposed to come. They added a game for my oldest son. So today I'm missing his game. But the good thing about it, Lord willing, he has many more games. And my wife, she said, listen, you are the man of the household. You do got to provide a living. You do have a different lifestyle. You're not going to be able to make every single game. And don't trip. Like, when the boys look back over their life, they will not remember the handful of games you miss. They're going to remember that you were there 90% of the time. And so I said, okay, you got a point, because, and I remember talking to a young guy, Kev, on stage, who he does tours, and he got two growing boys. And I remember asking him, I said, man, how you gonna do that tour? Like, with having two sons. And he said, I mean, I'm a military child. He was like, so with what we saw is your dad gone deployed, for a year at a time or more. And then he said, think about like LeBron James kids and what he got to do. And so he was like, I know that I turned out fine, even though not having my dad there all the time because of deployment or what have you. And that was a good lesson, just to hear. And that is the truth. I mean, think about Army parents who got to get deployed. And I remember coaching a client, a woman who was in Kuwait, and her daughter was back home in the States with her mom. And she was in Kuwait for a good little, probably a couple years, I think. And so I see that too. But it just depends on where you at. It depends on what you do. It depends on the spiritual attack, the spiritual warfare. And it's different for every man. So me being in the South, it's a little more racism. It's a little more prejudice in the South than it is. If you go on my Instagram, you see the post I made of my suite where, the guy who was parking me was a white male, probably in his late 40s, early 50s. And he just could not believe that I own a suite at the stadium. And because he probably had an idea of what a young black man is capable of, and owning a suite and driving up in a Mercedes Benz Sprinter van, which when you look online, mine is, you'll see it as high as $280,000. I didn't pay that, but you'll see it as high as $280,000. So he looking like, okay, you got a dream vehicle, because every time I see somebody in his age group, they love that Sprinter van. They, oh, I want one of these. Oh, I would camp in this. Oh, I would live in this. And it's just so much conversation about it. So he's like, okay, you driving the Sprinter, and you got a suite. So it just, he could not compute it. And I know he didn't mean anything by it. He just was like, what? This don't make sense. It's not computing. And so you have those, a lot more of that in the South. It's probably everywhere, but you got a lot more of that in the South. So my sons, they're gonna be raised and they're gonna have some identity crisis at times, being boys of color, and then being mixed, meaning their mom has some Indian in her. So their mom being 50% Indian and 50% African, meaning black. Sometimes Africans want to separate themselves if they born and raised in Africa or something like that. But no, we all come from Africa. But my wife mama is black, and then my wife dad is Indian. They identify as black though. They identify as black. Like her sisters identify as black. But their actual root, and my wife identifies as black, but their actual root, like where their dad comes from, his ancestors come from India. And when I saw him and his mom, they look just like Indian people. Like it wasn't like an Indian mixed with black. It wasn't like Blasian or Blendian or Blackian. Didn't it look Indian? I was like, wow. It was very intriguing to me. Like, wow, that side of your family look like a whole nother race, and they are. It's just that their ancestors were brought to Jamaica, and so her parents and, her dad and his sibling, they were born in Jamaica, and so they call themselves Jamaican. They're Jamaican, but the root. So my son, one time he came home and he was like, Dad, this girl asked me, what are you? You're not black. He was like, I am black. What you talking about? I'm black. He was like, no, what are you mixed with? You're not black. And he had confused him. And so when he came home, I said, well, son, technically you would be 75% black and 25% Indian. And so you have to go through those things. And I had to be there to explain that and talk about that. And then just understanding what I do in the world. If I'm in the world, and see, it's different with like me and a comedian. See, a comedian is bringing laughter to the world, but comedy is not going to, especially certain types of comedy, it's not going to make you look yourself in the mirror and challenge everything about you. It's gonna help you forget about your problems. It's gonna give you a laugh, and you're gonna feel good about that. But when you are doing what I do, this is very serious, and the truth is slapping you in the face every day. So I carry, in spiritual warfare terms, I carry a cannon, a machine gun, the meanest sword on the battlefield in spiritual warfare terms. Whereas a Christian comedian may be carrying a trumpet. It's not really, comedy not really gonna slay demons. You're gonna laugh, but it's not gonna have you sitting there crying, questioning the fornication that you're in. And the same with now Christian filmmaking, that can go a little deeper. A movie can have you, like what Tyler Perry was doing with Madea. Madea really had us questioning ourselves sometimes. Like, we really quote Madea in life. And so that's a little different, but still it's not as in your face for a whole hour long like a pastor. Like a YouTuber that's talking on a life coach or author that's hitting on very serious topics. And so when you look at it, and a lot of people don't think about this, but when you look at it, like look at a pastor and look at the pastors that you see their daughter was pregnant as a teenager. My dad was a pastor, and his daughter, his only daughter, got pregnant at 16. T.D. Jakes' daughter got pregnant at, I think they said 13. You know, maybe Google the story and see. Like, how many, your pastor may have a son or daughter that got pregnant as a teen, or son got somebody pregnant as a teen, or son is in prison. Like, a lot of times people say, oh, pastor's kids the worst, pastor's kids the worst. Pastor's kids aren't the worst. Pastor's kids are under the greatest attack because of what their parents bring to the world in the spiritual realm. So Satan puts more going after the children of someone who is shaking things up in the spiritual realm. Someone who brings a sword into the spiritual realm. Someone who brings a cannon. Someone who brings a machine gun in a semi-automatic. In the spiritual realm, Satan wants those. He wants those children. Because he say, if your daddy can have people questioning their life and drawing closer to God and getting out of fornication and they cutting out this sin in their life, what in the world you finna do with your life? Because if he finna set 1 million free, you could set 5 million free. You could set 10 million free. And then what your kids gonna do? And what your kids gonna do? And so what happens is when you're not there, it's just like we seen LeBron James' son. We saw LeBron James' son with his life. And I remember when Kev said, you know, look at LeBron James. Well, what his son was doing. LeBron's son was on Instagram, sent the video, smoking weed. Yeah, we on this here Nuggets pack. And it's like, man, you a young man. At that time, the guy probably was 14. And it's like, you smoking weed already? It's like, do you know what that turned into at 30, at 40? If you started smoking at 12, 13, 14, you can't function without smoking then at that point. And I see it. I know guys like that they have to smoke every single day to function, to get through their day. And so, and again, that is because the conversations from father to son are not deep enough. They're not real enough. But if daddy is in your chest and right there with you and in your face and really building, you're gonna move differently. And I notice it, like me working with pro athletes since 2010. So I've been working with pro athletes over a decade. Do you know what I've found? That the guys whose dad lived in the home with them and was active in their life, those guys really don't connect with me. They really don't reach out. They really don't build. They may be nice. They may be, cordial. Hey, how you doing? I could text them and they text back. But as far as like seeking advice, the guys whose father was in the home and still in their life, they don't reach out to me because they have a man in their life. A lot of times it's mostly the guys whose father was not in the home and they did not get to see that male presence. And I understand that, and they understand that, and they appreciate other men stepping up and being role models and mentors in their life. You got to forgive me, a little fan came on the hill. And so this the thing. For me, I'm in a season to where I'm trying to work smarter, not harder. So people say, Tony, when you gonna do a live seminar? When you gonna travel? Right now, I'm focused on being home. I want to be home. If you got 365 days in a year, I want to be home at least 341 days. Other than that, the other amount minus 7, 340 minus 6, 334. 300. That other 7 days is if me and my wife want to be gone on us, me and her on vacation for 7 days and leave the boys with their grandparents. 340 days, 34 days, 334 days out of the year, I want to be home, in the home. So guess what? YouTube is a way that I could get my message out, and they put ads on the video and they pay me. So you're going to see a lot of YouTube videos. You're going to see a lot of YouTube content, because that will become a stream of income that I can serve my purpose, be compensated for the content that I'm putting out on this business, on their system, but also be home with my family. So you're going to see a lot of videos, then you're going to see a lot of courses. You're going to see a lot of courses, and then you're going to see virtual seminars. So we on Zoom, or if I try another virtual event platform out, we're going to be doing those, and not me on the road. When I go on the road, I'm working with the sports team, Baylor men's basketball, and so I may go out there once a month, but at the most that may be a couple days. Fly in, speak to the team, fly out the next day. And I don't have to do that. I could do that on Zoom, but sometimes it's better in person when you're dealing with men. And other than that, it's like if I'm producing a film, like what you're getting ready to see tomorrow, mark your calendars, 9 p.m. on Wednesday night, 9 p.m., mark your calendars. I need you in the building on YouTube. I need you there, watching that there, looking at that there, okay? Need you there. And I'm gonna remind you, because we got to, I don't ask you for nothing, to hit the like button and all of that, but I need you to hit that like button tomorrow. And I need you to be there. And just to show the world that, hey, you could do something without a bunch of cursing, without getting naked, without being raunchy, and you can have supporters in that space. And it's just the beginning. It's going to grow. It's going to evolve. It's going to be different stuff, but I need you there. I need your view. And send it to everybody in your text message. Say, hey, watch this for at least 31 seconds. Get that view. And hit the like button. And, just to, because it might be a network that got their eyes on it, and then they see it and they say, hey, we're finna bring this team and do a little sitcom based on these teachings that I'm doing on YouTube. This is depicting some of the stuff I teach about in this little short webisode. So understand that. But think about this. So I'm shifting my business because I didn't know. And see, when you serve God, it gives you what you need when you need it. So God gave me the opportunity and gave me the wisdom and gave me and ushered me into a season to be home more and yet still earn a living and be able to take care of my family, when he knew that my sons are growing and would need me home more. When my oldest was young and we just had one, he didn't need me as much. He needed me, but he didn't need me as much. So I was out building my name. I was touring all year long. I'll be gone for anywhere. Some months I might be gone uh, 15 days out the month. You know, it's probably, yeah, it was probably some months I was gone 20 days out the month, and was gone and was not cheating on my wife, was not having an affair. God kept me, but yet I was gone. And I don't want to go back to that. And now we got two, and my oldest, that rap music is permeating. They know that rap music. It's everybody listening to it. It's being played all day at school. So my son, my 14-year-old, he know all the songs, just like a secular kid. He know all the songs. He know by the beat. He know the name of it. But he's a studier. He learns. So he know the artist's name. He know the artist's song, and he know the lyrics. And so I have to be there more to combat that messaging, to combat what he's hearing. And I got to get in his chest. And I tried to tell him the other day, and I thank God for my wife, because sometimes couples be against each other, and we talk bad about each other to the kids, and we be against each other, and that's just human nature. Oh, your mama don't know this, or your daddy don't know this. But my wife was telling my son the other day, she told my son, she said, do you know why the teams that your daddy worked with win? Because of what he talking to them about, and because of what they enacting in their life, because of what they start to do. She say, here you is, got a dad in the home that talk to some of the top athletes in the world, and you don't want to listen. And she told him that, and she told me about that. So the next 2 times I talked to him, he actually soaked it in more, because it's starting to click what he got in the home. Because see, I'm this right here to the world, and it's people from around the world that'll come and say, man, your message saved my life and changed your life. But sometimes you won't have that same fervor in your own home. You won't have that same, salt, that same oil in your own home. Like, you could take and, build something, and your own family will treat you like a peon. Treat you like you don't know what you're talking about. Treat you like you don't know nothing. Treat you like you're dumb. And it'll be people on the outside saying, man, I wish I could just sit for an hour. I wish this person was my brother. I wish this person was my father. I wish this person was my husband, was my wife. I wish I had a cousin or a best friend or a family member that was like that right there. And we could see that. And when we look at those people own family members don't even value and respect them. And that's what my wife was driving home to my son. And, that hit me. And when I talk to him, because I'm talking to somebody I love, when I'm talking to my son, tears start to flow from my eyes, because the Holy Spirit was moving so heavy. And I was downloading a rhema word from heaven. And the way my son's mind work, he will remember every word I've said. And he told me about a whooping I gave him when he was little that he still remembered. And so I know he gonna remember the bad, he gonna remember the good. And so now I have to be more intentional. So I sent a message of the week to, players or what have you, team, whoever I'm working with. I may send a message of the week. I may write a little short book, a little 20-page book. I realized just a couple days ago, I said, hey, I'm doing this for these people. These ain't my kids. I said, I got to share all this with my own son. And so I sent that. What I sent to a head coach, I sent it to my son. And he said, I'm going to keep that in mind for the game. They weren't supposed to win that game. They won that game. They won that game. He locked in, did what he was supposed to do, did what he was told to do, and he a vital piece. He a vital piece on his team. They won that game. And I told him, I said, son, one person could make a difference. I said, one person could make a difference. Because one person could be the missing piece to the puzzle. One person could shift the atmosphere. One person could shift the culture. That one person could make a difference. So I say when everybody get down, if you lift everybody up, you making a difference. If you connecting your past, if you doing what you supposed to do, you're going to make a difference. And I say, I know I make a difference in the world. Any situation I come into, I know I make a difference because I understand energy. I understand how our attitude, our presence, what we saying out our mouth, all of that is energy. Don't get all that sacrilegious stuff. We just saying in the literal. Your presence, what you say, who you are, how you present yourself, how you show up in the room, in the world, it makes a difference, whether positive or negative. And so that's what I had to realize. So for me, because of what I do, it's a different level of spiritual attack. It's a different level. It's a whole different level. It's not the same spiritual attack that an actor who's in a movie portraying the art. They're gonna have spiritual warfare too, but they portraying the art that somebody else wrote. And so it's gonna be a different type of spiritual attack. They are not the messenger, they portraying the message. A comedian, a Christian athlete, you got Christian athletes who win a championship and they give God the glory. And that's gonna make a change in the world. But when you're the one that the message coming forth out of your mouth, when you're the one that got to stand on the mountaintop and talk to the people, when you're the one that God downloads the words that used to be etched in stone, when you enter into that realm, whether you writing books or you speaking, I want you to understand it's a whole different level of spiritual warfare. It's a whole different level. It is not the same. And I see all the different industries because I got clients in a different industry. So imagine being a coach, being a mentor, being a confidant. I don't have anybody I can go to. I talk to my mentee about the spiritual warfare so that he knows and so that he can understand, but he don't necessarily have the words. He can't minister to me. Him listening, I'm almost ministering to myself, but it's not anybody that I can go to with my problems because of where God has me. And because I do it, God lets me understand human nature. So I can't go to a therapist because that therapist is gonna have my business in the street. That therapist gonna be telling his or her barber or hairstylist, their husband, their wife, their best friend. Because I've worked with humans in a deep, intense level, I understand the flaws of humans. So I understand that 99.9% of humans are gonna move the same way. And so I have to take it to God. And then when I'm talking on these videos, it's not me talking. Now, sometimes it's me talking and I'm just talking. But majority of the time, it's not me talking. It's God speaking through me. So as I'm talking to you, I'm being ministered to. And I know that I'm being ministered to because I know that there's no possible way in the world a 37-year-old man who comes from what I come from could say some of the stuff that God uses me to say. And I talked to a man who's 55 years old, and he told me that he listens to me and that he's not the type of person that'll look down on me because I'm younger and say, oh, what can he teach me? Because he said, I want to be where you are. He said, I want to be able to be with one woman and to love one woman and to be the type of man that you are to your wife and have that type of family. He said, I want to be like that. He said, you coached me 11 years ago when you just got started, when I was going through a divorce. This is what the man told me. And God bless you, brother, if you see this. And it was humbling, but it let me know that that we can be a vessel of God, meaning that we can humble ourselves and allow God to speak through us. And so I'm sharing this just so you know, like, people be like, hey, Tony, can you do this? Hey, Tony, can you do this? And what those people don't understand is it's already so much weight on my shoulders with the burden that I have to carry being a messenger, being a voice. And I wish a lot of days, Lord, why you just ain't make me a pro athlete? Why you just ain't make me a comedian? Why you just ain't make me an actor? Why you just ain't make me something else? And I don't know their struggles. Their struggle could be really hard too. But when I talk to those people, I realize the conviction is not the same. So it lets me know that the spiritual warfare is not the same because the conviction is not the same. So when you look at the artists, the music artists and the comedians who are parents, and you look at how they tour, I could never tour that much. I couldn't do 35 shows or even 70 shows. Some of them do 70, 100, 150 shows in a year. I could never do that because the spiritual conviction about being a presence in the home and being there to address the spiritual warfare that my wife and my kids will have to face, and to being able to pray that up out of there and to speak to it, that conviction to be there is so strong. I can't be gone. I can't be gone for long. Some things I got to do, but what I don't have to do, I'm not gonna do. Like, I'm gonna go to set when I produce something. Will I do a premiere every time? I don't know. If I do a premiere, will I go to the premiere? I don't know. Like tonight, I'm not speaking at the premiere. I'm not saying a word. I'm letting it be them. I'm letting the actors get their shine, the director, the composer. All I did was pay for it. And the messaging was based on my teachings on YouTube and my books. But that's it. I wrote the checks. And so I'm not gonna stand up and talk and P Diddy the situation. I'm going in there, I'm sitting down and I'm staying out the way. We didn't have food. I just sent the director $500 to order food, so I'm still putting out money. I posted the thing, I boosted it, I spent over $500 boosting the trailer on Instagram and Facebook so people could see it and mark their calendars. And so I'm putting out like that, and I'm investing back into my calling and the messaging. And that messaging got to be on point. It got to be in line with what I'm doing. It got to be, with where God has me. And hopefully, I'm able to work with people for a while, but you never know what God gonna do and how he gonna move and where he gonna take people's career and where he gonna move them to. And I might not be able to afford the writer who wrote this project. I might not be able to afford her on the next one. And that'll mean God gonna send somebody else that is starting out and need a big break, need a opportunity to showcase what they doing. The actors might not be able to afford them, the composer. You just never know, but I'm gonna be obedient, keep doing the work of the Lord, keep producing. I love to get the place to where we got something in production all year long, and we're doing different types of things, different types of shows, and because it's another what people in the body have to understand is we got to go out in all forms of media, and you got to stay rooted and grounded. It's certain people who they'll start out as a Christian this or Christian that, but once they start getting money and get some success, they start kind of leaving God they leaving God behind a little bit. They start to move away from God. No, we got to be in school teachers, lawyers, doctors, actors, HR assistants, janitors, CEOs, YouTubers, and making apps, everything. We got to be in a place to where we doing what we got to do. I'm trying to see what they doing on this here ESPN. So for me, apps, movies, sitcoms, webisodes, whatever you call it, books, videos, everything, t-shirts, everything. You got to get in every medium, every form. The message got to go in. And so that's what y'all gonna be seeing. I got some more videos. Keep doing videos. Might get to shoot me another or two today. Just put them in the can to go up, but don't need one for tomorrow, because that'll be, Lord willing, we be ready to launch with the first episode of this here show. So, hey, God bless you, and I appreciate you. For those of you who know and do it, it's one or two individuals that every week send me a cash app, just sowing into the ministry, and that means more than you know. And then there's others who, every now and then when they think about it, and sometimes it's $1, literally, sometimes it's $1. And guess what? I see that just like $1,000. And I just want to say thank you. And God will use people. God using one young lady really heavily right now, blessing her beyond measure. And she sows into my ministry. And it's mind-boggling. But then when I look back and I see what God doing in her life, it helped me understand too how seed time and harvest and how it works. And it showed me that he on the throne. And so, God bless y'all, and I appreciate y'all watching the videos, liking the video, sharing the video, and doing what you're doing. For those of y'all who are watching and have actively subscribed, I know some people watch the videos and never subscribe. But for those of y'all who actually hit the subscribe button, God bless you. I appreciate you. And we're going to be in touch. I'm going to work on some more videos. God bless you.